If you do any of these four things every single day, you are literally going to age faster than you are. And no, I'm not talking about those lines that you get on your face or a few gray hair around here and there. I'm talking about your cells, your heart, your brain aging years faster than they should. And the worst part is that you probably think these habits are harmless, or maybe you've done them for so long you don't even notice them anymore. But here's the thing, if you can spot any of these habits right now and fix them, you can slow down the whole aging process. And in some cases, even you can reverse the damage. So let's break them down one by one. And I promise you, I'm not going to give you anything that is impossible to follow or some monk level fixes, just some practical changes that you can start right now or today. The first habit is skipping morning hydration. Now, raise your hand if the first thing in the morning when you get up is coffee or tea, or maybe you just don't have anything. Now, here's the truth that when you wake up, you've just gone to sleep for a good 7 to 8 hours without water. Now, that's like leaving your plants out all day in the sun and then all night and then expecting them to be thriving the next morning. So, what happens inside your body when you wake up? You are dehydrated. Your blood gets thicker, which means that your heart is pumping harder right now. Your brain cells are basically a little sticky, is what we call it, which slows down your mental clarity. And also, your metabolism has just hit the brakes. And you also know how it feels when your phone's battery is literally on 10%, but you've got an entire day right ahead of you. That's exactly what your body goes through when it goes without water in the morning. Except your lower battery will come with mood swings, it'll come with slower thinking, and even constipation. So, yes, water is the cheapest anti aging cream that you will ever own, so drink water. And here's also the thing, when you go through chronic mild dehydration, it increases oxidative stress in the body, which is signs for cell damage that makes you age faster. Now, even I used to do this. I used to wake up, I used to check my phone, maybe have coffee or tea, and suddenly by 11 a.m., I'm wondering why am I feeling sluggish or slightly irritable? Well, it turns out that I was tired, my cells are thirsty, and I'm suddenly lacking energy. Well, that's because I'm dehydrated and I'm doing things that are harming my body even further. Now, this is how you fix it. Before you have coffee, before you go for your Instagram, and before you do the to do list for the day, drink water. At least 300 to 400 ml, which is almost like a glass. And a bonus thing you can do is add a pinch of rock salt, squeeze a little lemon, or even pink salt would do. This will give you a lot of vitamin C and better hydration for your cell. Think of this like oiling the hinges of a machine before you start using your machine. And trust me, your cells will thank you, so you believe me on this. Now, habit number two is sitting for too long. Let's be honest, the modern human shape is chair shaped. We sit to work, we sit to eat, we sit to scroll, and here's what sitting for so long will do to your body. Firstly, it reduces blood flow to your legs, so a lot of poor circulation and even swelling. It slows down a lot of your metabolism, so your body doesn't end up burning the amount of calories that it should, and it ends up burning fewer calories even when you're not eating more. Next, it also shortens your telomeres. So these are like those little plastic caps, which are called aglets, which are on your shoelaces, but they are for your DNA. Now, the shorter your telomeres means the faster you're going to age. And also, I want you to think about something that if you think about our grandparents, they squatted to cook, to wash their clothes, to eat, because for them, movement wasn't like a workout that we do today. It was life. And now we are a generation that needs a reminder also to stand up from these smartwatches, or we need a reminder to drink water. So maybe by technology, we've come really far, but when it comes to our body, we've not really done much. And here is a very scary fact. Research shows that if you sit more than 8 hours a day without any of those movement breaks, it increases your risk of dying early as much as smoking does. So, yes, if you wouldn't chain smoke or you wouldn't smoke 20 cigarettes a day, well, don't chain sit for 8 hours either. In fact, I once worked with a client who exercised 1 hour a day every day, but sat for the remaining 10 hours of the day. And guess what? When I made him get his blood test, his blood sugar was super high, cholesterol, joint stiffness, and all of these problems were creeping up. Understand that movement throughout the day matters way more than one big gym session. So don't think that that one big gym session is going to fix all your major issues. You have to move. And here is a fix that you can follow. Every 30 to 45 minutes, try to stand up. Walk if you have to, refill water, stretch your arms overhead, do maybe some 10 bodyweight squats, or even pace yourself when you're talking to someone on the phone. Dance randomly if you feel like, and if you don't, just do some movement that makes it look like dance. Even a 2-3 minute movement snack signals your DNA that your body is still active and it's worth maintaining. So move as much as you can throughout the day and not only during your gym session. And now we'll come to habit number 3, which is daily ultra processed food. Now, I'm not saying that never touch that biscuit that's in your kitchen. I'm just trying to say that be aware of how often it is creeping into your day, or how often do you keep eating it. Now, processed food like chips, instant noodles, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, all of them, they aren't just empty calories like you think. They are loaded with refined oils, excess sodium, sugar, and additives that cause chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is like rust, which is forming on metal. Now, you don't notice it on day one, but over time, it weakens that entire structure. And even in your body, that rust shows up as stiffer joints, skin losing that elasticity, or high risk for heart disease and even diabetes and even brain fog. And the problem is that these foods are literally engineered to be addictive. Now, you've never noticed yourself just eating one chip, you eat the whole packet. That's how well the companies have engineered this food. And understand one thing, that this food industry just has one job, is to make you crave more. So that perfect crunch when it comes to your chips, that's designed to hit your brain's pleasure centers. Even the little, or that amazing smell that you get when you open a chips packet or some packet of food, that's a chemical trick to make you feel much more hungrier. So if you think at any point that you are weak, well, you're not weak, you're just up against a $1 billion food science master. And the only way to win is to keep better options in your reach. Let's say that if you have a biscuit tin right in front of your desk while you're working, you are very sure to eat it. But if there is a fruit bowl instead, well, you're probably still going to eat the biscuits, but sometimes you might eat it way less often. You might sometimes even go to grab that fruit. And here is an awesome fix. So instead of trying to quit everything at once, which most people do and then it backfires, replace one processed snack per day with one, maybe a whole food option. Let's say if you have a bag of chips, instead of having a bag of chips at that point of time, replace it maybe with a handful of nuts, boiled chana, coconut slices. You can also cut some fresh fruit and sprinkle a little cinnamon on it. So these small swaps that I'm talking about, they will reduce your inflammation, they will feed your cells with real nutrients, and also they will slow down that entire rusting process. And then we have habit number 4, which is RBP, or revenge bedtime procrastination. Now, you know, when you've had a long, rough day and instead of sleeping, you end up scrolling, binge watching, or maybe doing online shopping. That is called revenge bedtime procrastination, or RBP. And it's your brain's way of saying that, listen, I didn't get enough of time or me time today, so I'm going to steal it from your sleep. And the reason why it's a problem, because you're stealing from the exact time that your body repairs itself. Now, we have to understand that deep sleep is where your skin makes its collagen, your brain clears out all those waste proteins that can lead to memory issues much later in your life. Also, your muscles, whatever you worked out in the gym, they recover during that time. And if you miss that deep sleep repeatedly, your body starts to literally age much more faster from the inside. And here's how to fix it. Firstly, set a reverse alarm 30 minutes before you go to bed. Now, when it rings, that's your cue. And that cue is to switch off your screen, dim the lights, switch to a much more calming routine. Maybe you can do some gentle stretches, you can do some light reading, slow breaths. You don't have to be a person who goes to bed at night, or be that person who goes to bed like as early as possible. But if you can protect even 1 extra hour of sleep at night, you can give your body more repair time every single day. And here's the thing, if you try to fix all these 4 habits all at once, you'll last maybe for 3 days max. So, what you need to do is you need to pick one, reverse it for a week. Once it feels really normal for you, then you start adding the next. Because you have to understand, aging isn't about making suddenly a giant change in your entire lifestyle. The problem is you will not be able to stick to it because your body is not used to it. If you want to age slower, or you want your body to age slower, understand it's all about consistent habits and very small shifts that your body can maintain and get used to. Because if you really want to see the change happen, it's not about you doing anything for just months or weeks, it's about you doing things for years, or things that you can maintain for a longer period of time. So tell me in the comments which one of these four habits that you still do and which is the one that you're planning to tackle first. Let me know in the comments. And until we meet again next, don't stress and be awesome. Rocher that.